Sorry.
Hey, babe.
No, don't do that. What are we talking about today?
I love you so much. I want to tell you I love you so much.
For sure.
But you know what? I can't because somebody might call me a simp.
Got that right. Which you are definitely a simp, honey. Which is the terminology of the century.
I'm a simp.
He is a simp. I love this simp. You can.
I ain't no simp, but I do love you though. I ain't no
What kind
simp.
of pig was that?
No
You got a little,
I ain't no simp, Shaw.
got a little lip gloss.
I ain't no simp, Shaw. I'm too cool to be a simp.
You ain't gonna be able to make it in your marriage if you don't simp. Horrible word. Horrible.
It's not a horrible word. It's a terrible definition of it. There are some simps out there, fellas, but the way it's being used right now is in terrible context. Simp is not a man who loves his woman. Simp is not a man who appreciates his woman. Simp is not a man who helps his woman and waits on his woman. A simp is somebody who falls for foolishness from a woman, who takes all of that foolishness from a woman. A man still has to be a man. At least that's what I'm thinking.
Period, point blank. I totally agree with you on that. You know, the word simp has been tossed around, especially in the black community, as it's a derogatory term for a man who endears his woman, which is absolutely ridiculous to me. If a man decides that he wants to do for his woman, albeit girlfriend or wife, especially wife, he's labeled as a simp.
Yeah.
Tell us about the post that you were dealing with a little bit earlier on today.
A young lady posted, I think it was a lady, but they posted what happened to the days of R&B when men sang for a woman because they chase after a woman. And a dude responded, he was like, ain't nobody chasing after no women no more. I ain't finna be no simp. I was like, a simp? I went to his page before I responded. You know, you gotta do your research before you snap on somebody.
Absolutely.
Little dude, he was like probably 17, 18 years old. I'm like, bruh, you probably never kissed a girl, let alone know what a simp is or the definition of a simp. My best definition of a simp would be from Best Man. The dude had the dreads. He had a little whiny wife.
Oh, yes.
She kept taking advantage of him. Now, that's a simp. Like, you let yourself get taken advantage of, that's simpish behavior.
And we are millennials, and so even when we were growing up, the word simp was being used. And just like what he said, it's about a man who basically lets a woman boss him around all the time. That's what a simp is, and just pretty much don't have a backbone and can, stand up for himself to the woman. He's like afraid of the woman. That's what the true definition of a simp is. But now it's been kind of flipped a little bit, well, drastically, and now it's just, if a man decide he want to cook for his woman breakfast in bed or something, or decide to clean up the house or bring her some flowers or be kind to her, he's now labeled a simp.
PDA is simping now,
Yeah.
That's right, PDA, that is the right word for it, right? PDA.
I agree with you. I
think, so like holding my girl hand, I'm simp.
Mm-hmm.
You better be happy you got a girl to hold on to.
How first of all, how do we move away from that, gentlemen? That's a question that I have for you personally as a woman. Why is it something it's labeled as this? To me, it's a derogatory term at this point, where if you decide to do for a woman, and if you decide that you want to be in love with someone, that it's this negative terminology. I find that if you pull that under your own philosophy, then I believe you're going to be single for the rest of your life. Listen, there's nothing wrong with being single. A lot of men and women desire that life. But if you desire to have a wife and you want to be married for the rest of your life and you want to build a family, you have to be mature and get rid of the word simp, because there's just no way to maintain a relationship if you don't treat your woman well. And it's the same thing for the woman. She needs to treat her husband well.
Did your dad open the door for your mama when they got in the car? Did he hold the door open for her when they went in the stores?
Yeah.
Is that simping or is that being a gentleman? So now that's another thing. Like, we still got to be gentlemen. I don't always hold the door for her, but we come to certain spots if I can beat her to the car, because she walk fast. Like, she's a runner, she's a track star. But yeah, I'm like,
what?
Y'all know what that is.
Yeah.
But Yeah, man, you gotta still be a gentleman to your wife. You still gotta court your wife, you know, all that stuff.
And even your lady, like even if y'all not married, you know what I'm saying? You desire to date somebody, right?
Yeah.
You want to date her. You have in mind that perhaps she is gonna be your wife. So get rid of that word. It's ridiculous. In all honesty, if you want to look at it from a biblical perspective, our God is a God of love. So under your context of a simp is a man that loves whom he loves, then God must be one too then. But it's not right to call God a simp, is it?
Yeah, I wish you would.
I wish a jigger would.
I mean, look at it this way. You take a woman out to eat, you pay for her meal, are you a simp? I ain't gonna lie, she pay for my meal sometimes too, but I don't think we split the tickets too often. But
I don't mind him paying for the food.
yeah, like that kind of stuff, like one way or another, you're gonna do something that's affectionate in one way to get that person to look and pay attention to you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But don't be a simp. Whatever that definition is, we first need to get a good definition of simp. You know, like we need to go to Wikipedia and study it.
How about it just doesn't be a thing? Why does it have to be a thing? How about just be in a relationship and be happy? And whatever that looks like for you, then do that. If it
But most people who say simp is probably hating from the outside anyway.
yeah.
I doubt a dude is in his relationship talking about, man, you know, I want to tell her I love her, but I don't want to be no simp. I'm pretty sure it's your homeboy or somebody on the outside looking into my, man, he's simping over there, bro. No, I wouldn't even be doing all that.
But literally another topic
a hater.
for another day. He's right. Another topic for another day, another video, because it could get even more lengthy. Just talking about how men have that mentality of the simp, but then you turn into this factor of not wanting to commit to your woman and you're not wanting to put a ring on her finger. Like there's some sort of a fear with that, and so that's a question that I do have.
That's a good question. How long before you start?
For later on,
how long before you propose?
How long does it take? I know people who've been together for a very long time, have an established family, done bought homes together, and the man has yet to propose because he's afraid.
I mean, but we
or
know
because
people
he
who
doesn't
married
want
early
to.
and divorced early, so
It's that's true.
Give and a take. Yeah.
Two different elements, though, in my opinion.
You're right. You're right.
You boyfriend and girlfriend, you trying to go ahead and do that thing, but then if you're together and you are married and you divorced, that's I think two different.
You can see where you come from.
Yeah. So with all of that being said, just live your life and stop being on social media with this simp junk. It's really, really ridiculous. How can we build? That's the question. Let's build.
Live your life. Like and subscribe. Follow DaveandTia on Instagram. And that's it.
Yeah, and that's it.
Yeah, and stop calling folks simps.
Because it's really not that serious.
No.
If you want to treat your woman, treat her. Like,
don't be a hater. We lovers, not haters.
Yeah, exactly. God is love, and you should be too, if you claim to be a follower of Jesus Christ.